to our second part of the maintenance and overhauling of our various systems. In the last video, we saw about the lubrication cooling systems and the greasing of the chassis and wheel bearing. Now, in this video, we will see about the maintenance and overhauling of the systems that is connected to our electrical system. Now, electrical system is considered as an auxiliary system of the vehicle. But as we know that in case of the four-wheelers, without the electrical system, we cannot start our vehicle. So, let's start the maintenance of first the ignition systems. Right, the diagnosis of the ignition systems can be done in the different parts or the different problems. There are three main things. First, if there is no spark in the engine, if there is weaker spark in the engine, and if there is an engine missing, which means if the engine is missing the cycles in between. Right, there is one cycle of the 4 strokes of the vehicle. If there is a missing of the engine cycle, that we know as misfiring. If the engine is missing, all these three things is connected with our spark plug. If the spark plug is faulty, then first thing is there will be no spark. Right? The no spark can be happening because of the faulty spark plug. If the spark is weak, then it can also happen because of the clearance between the two electrodes of the spark plug. Right, the central electrode and the ground electrode. The gap between that should be accurate. If the gap is not properly adjusted, then there is the chance of the weaker spark that is getting in the vehicle. So, to adjust that, the spark gap can be adjusted by using and measuring the gap with the help of a feeler gauge. Then the third thing is engine missing, which means the cycle is getting missed between the engine operation. The missing cycle can be result because of there are some problems in the engine firing order, and that firing order can be adjusted by the help of this spark plug adjustment or by the help of the governing operation that is being given in the vehicle. So these are three main problems that can arise in the case of the ignition system. How to service the ignition system is that first we will check the spark plug. Right, as I said, that spark plug will be checked for the first time. After checking the spark plug, the distributor will be checked. The distributor is provided in the case of the battery ignition system. The distributor decides when the spark occurs in which respective cylinder. In case of the multi-cylinder engine, in which cylinder when the spark should happen is decided by the distributor. So if there is a problem in the distributor, then the firing order can be changed or can be altered. There are some systems in the vehicle which gives you the distributor less ignition system as well. So in that case there will be no distributor in the system, and these are the better accurate systems which is operated by the electronic control. Next thing is the ignition timing will be checked. Right, if both the things is proper, then the timing of the ignition will be checked. The ignition timing is adjusted by generally in the nowadays by the help of the electronic system which works on the sensor. So if there is any problem in the timing, then sensors needs to be recalibrated. Right, so the normal circuit for the ignition system, with that the tester for the spark is adjusted by testing the spark. You can see the tester of the spark will be adjusted by the help of the 12-watt battery that is being connected with the jumper wires. The jumper wires will be connected to our ignition system, and after connecting the spark tester, the testing by giving the spark in the system will be done. By this system, we will get to know the problem in our ignition system by using this simple circuit of the spark testing in the engine. After doing the spark service, the next thing that is done is the maintenance of the battery. The maintenance of the battery is required at the regular intervals or if the vehicle is kept in the steady condition. battery generally discharges whenever we use the vehicle, but with the help of the alternator, battery keeps charging itself and that cycle goes on. But with time, there is chances of battery gets faulty or the specific gravity of the solution which is given in the battery is not at the required value. Then or that the water gets absorbed and the level of the water is reduced, as you can see. So to maintain that level again, the water is refilled in the battery. To maintain the battery, there are simple procedures. First thing that can be done is the water can be added in the battery to maintain the level of the sulfuric acid and the water. Second thing is the cleaning of the battery, the vent plugs, the outer surfaces of the battery that will be cleaned. Next thing is the cleaning of the terminals and the cable that is connected to the batteries. So the terminals which is connected to our battery cells and the cable will be cleaned. Next thing that to be done is the tightening the battery so that the bolt down clamps is adjusted with the vehicle. And the battery should be tightened and it should not vibrate whenever we are driving our vehicle. After that, the checking of the speed of the battery will be done. The speed of the battery will be checked. Right, battery at which state, the discharge state, then how much voltage is created, that will be checked. After that, the cable will be removed from the batteries. Right, so and after removing all the systems, we will check the safety considerations that should be given to the battery so that no short circuit is given in the battery, so that no spark is generated in the battery because of any failures of the batteries. So simply the battery should be maintained, and after some cycles, battery cannot be recharged from there. And after that, we replace the battery in the vehicle. So next we will see about the testing for the battery. Now battery test can be done by the simple terminal test that we saw for the spark plug as well. So that battery terminal test can be done. Also, if the battery is totally in the dead condition and if the vehicle cannot be started by any method, then the jump start can be obtained. Now how to do the jump start of the vehicle? If our battery is dead, if our vehicle was in steady condition for almost 6 months, then our battery will be dead. And to start the vehicle, we need some other outer supply in our battery. That supply will be given with the battery of another vehicle which is in running condition. That power will be given to our power to the dead battery, and this is how the jump starting can be done. You can see the procedure for jump starting in the graphics behind me. Let's see the procedure for the jump start. For the jump start, first thing that needs to be done is to do the all electric connection should be kept in the off condition, such as headlights, music systems, tail lights, etc. should be in the off conditions. After doing the stop of all the electrical components, we will connect the positive end of the booster battery, that is the battery of our running vehicle, to the dead battery of our vehicle that is not in the running condition by the help of the jump cables. Next, we will connect the negative end of the booster battery to the other end of the engine block to the vehicle. That needs to be jump started. Right, so negative end of the booster battery will be connected to the engine block where the power will be transmitted for the negative cable. Next thing that is required to be done is we will start the vehicle that has the booster battery. Right, so vehicle which is in the starting condition will be started. After starting the vehicle with the booster battery, next thing is to be done is to start the vehicle with the dead battery. Right, now when we apply the cell, then the vehicle will start because of the power that is being getting from the booster battery. And after that, we will disconnect all the booster cables when our vehicle is started. So this is how we have started the vehicle with the help of the jump starting method. Next, when we drive the vehicle with the help of alternator, our vehicle battery will be charged. After, next thing is the starting system diagnosis. Now, in case of the starting system diagnosis, there are some problems that is associated with the starting system of the vehicle that can be either first, if the battery is dead condition or in the discharge condition, then vehicle will not be started. Second thing, if the starting motor is not cranking our vehicle, then also the vehicle engine will not be started. For that, there will be problem in the starter motor. Next thing, if there is no cranking in the starter motor, that can be problem because of the drive that is connected to our starter motor. So that drive, generally the bandage drive that we use in the vehicle, can be faulty in that case if we are getting no crank in the engine. And in the last, if the cranking is in the slower case, then that can also be problem in the case of the drive system of the starter motor. So these are the common problems which are associated with our starting system. Last thing is the diagnosis of the charging system. The charging of the battery which is done by our charging system, that can be a faulty, then the battery will be discharged within no time. So the charging system should be working in the proper condition. For that, the charging indicator light, if that flickers, then there can be a problem in the case of the charging system. If the charging indicator light stays in the on condition, that is also another case. If the charging is low or unsteady, which means if the proper charging current is not getting reached to our battery, then there can be problem in the charging system alternator or in case of the regulator. This can be faulty. Also, if the vehicle battery is getting overcharged, then the overcharging will damage the cells of our battery, and that cells of the battery will have a long-term effect on the battery, so that overcharging should not be happening, and that can only happen if there is a problem in the regulator that is connected in the charging system. Last thing is the noise that is created in the alternator. Right, the alternator noise can be created because if there are any components which is used in the alternator is getting attached or is getting in friction with the other components of the alternator or the coils of the alternator. So these are some of the common problems that is associated with the charging system. Right. So in this video we saw about the brief of the problems and the service of the electrical system that is connected to our vehicle. Right. So until now we saw almost the maintenance and overhauling of all the components of the vehicle, and from the next time we will see the diagnosis of the engine common problems. Right. So until then, thank you so much.